Welcome to Daytona International Speedway. It is the Budweiser duels. We're going to start off with Duel 1 for the MRCL. Sure, in a moment here, we'll get ready to go racing. Led off today here by the number 2 car of Blake, sponsored by McDonald's. That Ford Mustang behind him is Cambug, the NOS Energy Drink Chevrolet. The 4 is Inkling, Quick Trip. Beside him, if we would double up, I'm not sure if we're going to double up. The Shadow, okay, and the In and Out 29. Gotcha is in the 7 car, and Merc will be rolling off second to last here today in his self-sponsored 77 car, and Zanman will be starting at the tail of the field in the 08 Bojangles machine. And there's the call here, and we are going to start pacing. 70 miles per hour is the call, single file. The field will be staying on the apron. Top 5, I believe, get into this race, into the Daytona 500. So we only have Duel 1 here only has a field of 8 cars. So, or actually 7, I believe. Yeah, that's 7. And so 2 drivers. Okay, it's actually 4. Been corrected there. 4 cars will make it in. 3 here will not. My apologies. No last chance qualifiers. I'm assuming it is green this time. I'm not sure. There it is, green this time. There's the call from race control. The first official on-track action of this season is about to get underway. The drivers pace through turns 3 and 4, led by Blake in the number 2 car. And there's the call from race control again. Do not pass until you hit the start-finish line. If you do, I would assume you'd get a penalty. Here we go. Single file to the United Rentals restart zone. Duel number 1 is underway. The 4th car trying to get under there. That's Inkling. As the leader of Blake gets a big jump off the start, but now the draft is going to come into effect as they go into turn 1. Already getting some side-by-side action throughout the field. The 29 car, Shadow, trying to make the first pass today, and he will. He'll clear the 4, and he'll move up to the 3rd position on track, but he gets some help from that manufacturer teammate on the inside of Cambug. Big run for that 29. Whoa! Big dive under the apron, but he lifts off. But here comes Inkling down to the inside of Blake, side by side for the race lead, and now we're pack racing. It's going to be close to see who will lead the first lap here today. And it looks like it'll be Inkling. And here we go now. Inkling goes up the racetrack, and that'll leave the gap open for Shadow to go side by side for the race lead. Staying side by side throughout now, but nobody else trying to make any passes on Shadow at the moment. Ooh, a lot of contact there in the midfield. Looks like the 4 car came a bit down. Oh, there's some more. The 4. He's turned. That's Inkling spinning by himself down on the apron. It is a single car accident. No caution, no merge. So now, if you are Inkling, you've just got to hope that there'll be another caution since you can't merge if you want to get into the 500. Now that there's a push on the inside for Zanman in the 08 looking to clear, and that's what he will do. He'll get a big run to the lead from your first starter of Blake. 3 wide behind them. Gotcha, Cambug, and Shadow. Big run from the middle from Merc to Cambug. That middle lane looks like they're going to get a big run, and that is what Blake will get. But it will stay on the outside. Here comes Zanman. 2 fast food restaurant sponsored cars side by side for the lead right now. Both with red and yellow, so there's a lot of similarities here, as well as the In-N-Out car. But still side by side. Here comes Merc on the inside. The gap is left open. Now throughout again. Just throughout the field, they're kind of dropping back now because there's a big push on the outside lane. Here's Cambug just following the bumper of Blake. Shadow gonna fall back into line. And now we've filtered out single file up on the high lane. Nearly up against the wall. I think these drivers at this moment are staying reserved. They know you have to be in the top 4 to advance here. There's the 7. Gotcha got kind of pushed down to the inside by Zanman, having to hold the line. Shadow up on the outside, and now a fall off for the 7 car. 7 laps to go here from Daytona in Duel 1. 1 car is back, Inkling, hoping for a caution as the rest of the field stays single file up front. I would assume Blake has led the most laps here today. Started on, I guess, pole position, even though we didn't have qualifying. So, been up front a lot of this race. Cambug staying right on that bumper in his NOS Energy Drink Chevrolet. Not much action now going on the racetrack. Like I said a moment ago, just drivers staying reserved. They're going to save their big moves for when this race winds down to the 2 laps to go mark, 1 lap to go. Because you don't want to end up like Inkling and get to the back and not be able to advance. Because again, in its top 4, do advance here in this race. We are now on board with the MMT Ford of Merc, riding back there in 5th place. Side by side for 2nd. There's Shadow all alone on the inside. But here's Cambug on the outside because Blake didn't know what lane to block. The Zanman tried to give the push. Now we're racing again. Merc holding up the inside, going to try to help Shadow here. Whoa, a bit of contact off the wall. Driver's able to keep it together. And now we're 3 wide down the back straightaway. Merc is going to lift off here. Got pushed down below the apron. Cambug with a big run from Zanman, just not making any moves yet. Now Merc down with Shadow again, trying to get the run to the lead. Zanman's up against the wall. I believe that was a push from Gotcha there. Once again in the wall, that gets Merc down the racetrack. He'll hit the pit road speeder and he'll slow down. He got pushed down into the pit road. Don't know if he'll be able to merge off of that. And oh, trouble, the 29, he's airborne! Crash for Shadow. And now the caution is out. That is exactly what Inkling and Merc wanted to see. And that is what they will get. Fielder's going to have to get here if we want to go green this time. A big airborne crash for the 29 will bring out the first caution of this race. Pacing around the track. We said that now. Once this race winded down, green next time, by the way, that's when the drivers would start making moves. That's what they tried to there, and it ended in disaster for Merc, who got pushed down into the pit road speed limiter, and Shadow, who went for a wild ride down there in turns 1 and 2. A track like Daytona, obviously, who's going to advance, who's going to win. So I can't really have any predictions. If I were to have one, obviously I'd go with Blake. He's led pretty much most of the laps here today. Green this time. That's the call now. Pace car lights are off, if you will. Still waiting for Merck in the 77 to get back up here with the pack. I do see him out there in turn 1. Obviously, once we get to that restart, that's when drivers are going to try to make big moves. I wouldn't be surprised here if we get another caution, and that'll breed another caution. The saying is cautions breed cautions, and we could see that today here. The drivers are bunched up again. So, not to say that Blake has a target on his back, but it's more like everybody, is going to try to get by him, obviously, and they are not scared to use some maybe dirty measures to get around him or whoever would be the leader coming up to the checkered flag. Here we go. Out of turn 4, we are ready to go back racing here in Daytona to figure out who's going to go to the Daytona 500. Drivers up their speed now to the United Rentals restart zone. One more time. Green flag is in the air again. Stay single file as they go into turn 1. And here comes Zamman to the inside, but the pack is too spread out at the moment to get any help on that inside. Making a lot of contact with Cambuck, trying to slow him down. Not going to work. Here we go. Cambuck stays behind, pushes Blake. Up on the high side. Here comes Gotcha, as well as Inkling down on the inside. They're too spread out to get any pushes. Out of turn 4. Big run for Gotcha on the inside. Now it's the white flag. Whoa, nearly crashing behind him. 3 wide for a second. Zamman now hoping for help. He might get it from Inkling. Cambuck staying like a good soldier. Right behind Blake. Now, can he get to the inside? Not this time. Can't go to the outside. Zamman's there. 2 lanes behind Blake. Maybe 3. Here's all the cars to the inside. Oh, we might crash. They save it. On the corner of Blake. Not going to be enough. Here comes Cambuck to the inside. Side by side to the start finish. It's a photo finish. And it's Cambuck by an inch. Winning duel number 1 as they crash behind him